Nigeria's internet ecosystem is now in a new era with a breakthrough that doesn't just connect devices but connects dreams, drives innovation, and powers the digital heartbeat of a nation. In a historic achievement for Nigeria's digital future, the Internet Exchange Point of Nigeria IXPN has officially crossed 1 terabit per second in a peak domestic internet traffic. That's 1 trillion bits of data per second flowing locally in Nigeria. This isn't just about speed, it's about sovereignty, about local traffic staying local, about unlocking economic opportunities while building an internet that works for Nigerians.
1 terabit of domesticated internet traffic. 1 terabit domesticated. So it's an internet, people are browsing at a speed of 1 terabit within Nigeria.
1 terabit per second, the speed and volume of internet traffic handled locally in Nigeria have now grown to the level where over 1 million Zoom calls could run concurrently without interference. It also means that around 200,000 users could stream high-definition Nollywood films at the same time without any buffering, while 50,000 smartphones' content can be transferred in a second. With this development, it shows more data now move within Nigeria handled by domestic infrastructure. Service providers no longer need to depend heavily on international cables or foreign data centers, which means fewer costs and less vulnerability while external connections break down. The benefits from this achievement are both financial and functional.
Zoom calls are usually 1 megabit to 1.3 megabits per second. You know, if you want to do a Zoom call, right? That is at a HD quality, clear. If you have a local traffic right now of say 1 million students connected to each other, you know, that kind of an idea. Just to give you an idea, as I said, you can search. You know, 200,000 people can watch local videos or Netflix at the same time with that speed, okay, and almost 50,000 smartphones. If they have like not high-end phones in Nigeria, I look at average Nigerian phones. You know, what is the capacity you could use within 1 second? You can move the content of 50,000 smartphones, you know, with an average content. And that content should be around 2.5 gig to maybe 5 gigs of gigabit of data inside. So this is what it is. It's a milestone because right now it means that we are domesticating this traffic. Without an internet exchange point, this traffic would be what? Going out of Nigeria. So that is what it means. So next slide, please.
On this digital surge achievement, Mr. Rudman remarked that this is due to the collaborative effort and strategic partnerships such as ISPs, government regulators, content creators, to global internet champions. In order to sustain this feat and more, Mr. Rudman urged that there is need for upgrading of core infrastructure to enhance value in order to reach the efficiency needed, as there are more users in Nigeria than any other African country.
And these internet exchange points are actually the cornerstone, to some extent, of development when it comes to ICT. We all know that in Nigeria, for example, we are all using mobile phones, but if you look at the economic impact of the telecommunications in Nigeria, we are not really tapping much out of it. Of course, we are tapping, we are doing our online banking, we are doing some other things, right? But all the mobile phones are imported, all the masts are imported, all the telecommunication gadgets are all imported, all the software is all imported. Really, that's the truth of the matter. So, in fact, the content that you browse is also imported. The information you are browsing, because if it's not in Nigeria, it has to be what? Imported. So, for us to break that, the fundamental of telecommunications is you have to have the infrastructure, you have to have the electricity, the good regulator that will give you the right frequency. You need to have fiber infrastructure, you need to have the right infrastructure on ground. The maturity of this infrastructure ensures the maturity of the ecosystem. South Africa has only 60 million people, right? But their traffic that they are generating in South Africa is way higher than Nigeria. Why? Because they have infrastructure on ground. They have more data centers. I hope you guys know.
Yes.
There are much more data centers, almost 10 times the size of Nigeria in South Africa. Why? Because there is electricity, right? So when you have the right things on ground, that is what helps the ecosystem. Private sector needs to be empowered to drive this. So one is for us to really grow, we need to have that cheaper interconnectivity across Nigeria. Two, you need to find the right incentives to encourage smaller internet service providers to evolve. Either saying that they don't need to pay taxes, find incentives. South Africa has incentives for smaller service providers. Let's have incentives for smaller service providers, community networks. See how we can provide good funding to educational institutions. They should lead in this so that educational institutions can have huge bandwidth. They should be able to host their information within Nigerian data centers. So that will now boost localization or use of local data. That will boost communication between the universities. Those are some of the things that if we do that, of course our trajectory will continuously improve. Let's see how we can get electricity to some of these data centers.
Up to 70% of internet traffic for some networks is now kept local, cutting reliance on costly international bandwidth. This is a tall order compared to previous years where bulk of data had to travel across the world and back, introducing delays and extra costs.
We had more content service providers. Google was the first, right? Later, Facebook, Meta came in, Microsoft, Amazon, TikTok, Netflix. These other content providers came in. Then other international service providers also came in. So with all this, and then more Nigerians are getting online. More Nigerians are consuming more data. You can't compare consumption of internet traffic last 10 years and now, right? In fact, the quality of the content of the internet improves. In those years, you have CD quality, then it moves to DVD quality. Then you have high definition, right? Now you have 4K, 8K, 12K. You know that 8K video is completely different from a CD quality. Go and watch the videos you record 15 years ago, 10 years ago, you see that the quality, yes. So the same video, if you are watching it on 8K or you are watching it in HD, there is a huge difference in terms of data consumption. So all those factors, it's not only one factor. So more content providers, more internet service providers, the quality of the internet also improves, more Nigerians get online. All these factors attributed to the growth. To me, for IXPN to really survive, we need to have that local interconnectivity at a cheaper cost. If you go to Europe, you'll be shocked. From one country to another, the cost of bandwidth is extremely cheap in terms of capacity. But in Nigeria, you just say you want to take capacity, you hear the prices you'll be getting, because of those inherent problems. So for IXPN to really survive, we need that interconnectivity so that we have more autonomous system numbers in all the states of Nigeria, and we have more community networks coming in.
On future prospects, IXPN hopes to expand to underserved communities, strengthening infrastructure and championing Africa's digital sovereignty. As artificial intelligence and Internet of Things and immersive tech reshape our world, Nigeria must stay ahead of the curve.
What I would love to see to drive the traffic is, instead of all this social media, if we have our educational institutions connected and we're exchanging videos. Imagine if you get the best teachers in Nigeria and you do a national competition, you get the best, you record their trainings of all the different subjects and you host that training in Nigeria and give access to those videos for free in Nigeria. Part of it is connected to IXPN, where IXPN is in different locations. It means everybody can have, students can have access to those videos So we are using the internet. I'm saying instead of using the videos for online to just watch for the sake of watching videos, if we can get educational videos, right, and it's hosted for free, it means more people can get online.
IXPN is the country's largest internet exchange point and serves as a key node for West Africa's connectivity. Over 130 organizations are already linked through its network, including giants like Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and TikTok, alongside Nigeria's mobile network operators. 1Terabit is just the beginning. The future is local. The future is fast. The future is Nigerian. A terabit today, tomorrow, who knows? What we do know is that Nigeria is ready for a faster, smarter, and more connected future.
For more on well-researched and balanced stories, events, and interviews across business, tech innovation, and lifestyle, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. www.youtube.com/digivationnetwork.